Hello everyone, this is Robert Cardsafe bringing you this evening's webinar. I just want to first check that everyone can hear me. If you could hear me, then would you please just type yes for me? Okay, fantastic. It looks like everyone's able to hear me. So today we're going to do a webinar just basically on how to set up a social account and a quick walk through the platform as well. It's all extremely simple, and hopefully by the end of the webinar you'll all be able to set up an account if you need to. Now to start off, we're just on the ayondo homepage, and from here you can see in the top right hand corner we've got both open account and a login button. Now the easiest way to open a social account is actually to scroll down, and at the bottom here you've got two options. So you've got social trading and spread betting CFD trading. This evening we're just going to go over social trading. So from here you can click on the green open account button and it'll take you straight to our registration page. From here you can put in all your details and it will open up specifically a follower account. Now some of you may be interested in a real money trader account, but that will be something that we go over a little bit later on. So on the registration page, as you can see here, you just fill out all your details, your first name, your surname, your username, and then confirm your email address and select your country of residence just at the bottom here. That's important because that will determine whether you get a CFD account, a spread betting account, and also what currency your account will be in. Now, later on in the registration process, you do have options to change the currency slightly, and you do also have to fill in a little bit of a questionnaire just based on a little bit of information on your salary, your income, your average spending in terms of investments, and your education in investments as well. Once you're all registered, then you'll get full access to the platform and you'll be able to log in here by clicking on this blue button here. You just hover over it so that it can expand, and from there you just click on social trading. Once here, you fill in all your details and you just click on login and you have full access to the website. Now, all the details that you'll be sent in an email, the password is a little bit difficult, and you can easily change that when you first log in by clicking up here in your username, which is listed in blue. You just click on it and there will be the change password. From here you just have to put in your initial password and your desired new password. I'd very much recommend this because then you can have it set to something that you find easy, and you won't forget it. So going back to the social website, once you've logged on and you have access to it, the best way to start really is going to have a look at our top traders. So to do so, you just click on Find Top Traders, and here you'll be given a list of all of our available traders on the platform. Now, as you can see here, mine's currently showing every career level, and it's also showing the highest profit first. So you can edit and customize your tables based on what you want it to be on, whether you want it to be on profit or whether you want to be on followers or volatility, if that's very important to you. You can change it that way. Now, focusing on the search tab here, what you do have is our most popular traders tab in the right hand side. So if we click on that, it will bring us to the 10 most popular traders. And as you can see, Mr. DAX is number 1, and it just follows downwards. What you'll notice is a lot of our most popular traders have all 5 career levels. Now, to get to the 5th career level, they need to have traded with us for at least a year, and they need to have a positive performance of 6% per annum and no drawdown greater than 25%. You'll see here's our maximum drawdown, and this is one of our greatest criteria. They can't have a drawdown maximum more than 25%. An example of this is King. He's been one of our long-standing top traders. However, he is only level 1 because his drawdown is over 25% here. If we click into his profile, what you'll see there is he's had a drawdown of over 26%, but his performance for 3 years down at the bottom here has been fairly outstanding. He's done fairly well with his portfolio, and had he not had a drawdown greater than 25%, he would be a 5th level trader. But due to our criteria, unfortunately, he has dropped down to a street level. That means he can't recover from there. Now, seeing as we're on his portfolio already, we'll just have a look in analyzing a top trader's portfolio and how you might want to look at the portfolio and see whether you want to follow that actual trader. Looking initially at the top here, we've got a snapshot of his performance, his number of trades there, which is fairly important. That's just since inception, so 3 years. He's done 732 trades, so roughly not that many, and not that many on a monthly basis, roughly about 20 a month. Likewise, we've got the drawdown, the volatility, which a lot of people are concerned about. Obviously, the higher the volatility, the more risky the trader and the more movement on the portfolio, which is not necessarily a fantastic thing, but not the end of the world if it is slightly higher. We also have some information here about his trading strategy and where King is from. If we scroll down here, we can see his current open trades as well as his performance since inception, so starting from February 2013 and going all the way till November 2015. And what we can also see, which is very useful down at the bottom, is his asset allocation. So if you're looking to diversify your portfolio, you might be looking for traders who are trading a lot of different instruments and not exactly trading the same things. King here, as you can see, predominantly trades Forex, mostly US dollar, Canadian dollar, and Euro dollar as well. Now he also mixes that in with a few other things such as bonds and gold. And you'll notice one thing that's not on his portfolio is DAX. So he doesn't trade a lot of the Germany 30, whereas majority of our other traders do. So what we'll do is we'll actually have a look at Mr. DAX now and see how his asset allocation differs. And we'll also look a little bit further into analyzing his portfolio. You can see Mr. DAX here is actually our most followed trader. He's got 2,523 followers. And if we have a look at his asset allocation down at the bottom here, you can see that the Germany 30 makes up for 68.9% of his trades. So he's heavily invested in the Germany 30, so the two as a pair is quite a nice diversification on the portfolio. He's trading a few of the things that King trades, such as gold, but otherwise it would work nicely together. Now you can see by his performance here as well, he's been with us for just over a year, which allows him to be at institutional level. And he's had positive performances every year, and his drawdown is well under 25%, hence the level 5 trading status. Now, one thing that we look at a lot in terms of our traders is their risk per trade. Now you can see this first of all in his open positions at the moment. Here on the far right column, the risk per trade that he's taking is all under 1%. So if each of these stop losses were to be hit, you'd be losing less than 1% of your portfolio on each of those trades. And if we look at his transaction history, which is up at the top here, you'd also see that the majority of his trades are under 2% or even under 1%. He does have a few that break above that rule. For example, this one here on the Germany 30 at 2.29%. Now, analyzing the trades at the moment as they are, what we can learn from this, his latest trade was a long trade on the Germany 30. He was purchasing the Germany 30. He purchased 2.78 units and he exited with a loss of 10 euros and 27 cents. So not a great trade, but not a huge loss there. So he obviously wasn't feeling comfortable with it and closed out that position there. But this is a great way to analyze how risky a trader is and sort of what their intentions are with the trade. You can see here he's making decent profits and keeping the risk fairly low, which is what we like to see. Now, going back to the top traders, if you find that you want to start following some of them, the best way to do that is either, well, 3 options really. You can either click on the follow option here to follow them, or on their profile as shown here, you can click on to follow them here. But the easiest method that I find is by going to My Portfolio and Portfolio Configurator. When you're on Portfolio Configurator, this enables you to just drag the traders that you like across. Now we actually have a portfolio set up here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new portfolio just by clicking on the grey button, the grey plus sign here. You'll see it adds a new portfolio which is untitled, and what we can do is we can drag two traders. So for example, if we take Mr. DAX and King King across, we can see how their performance would pair together over the previous year. So because King King is a level 1 trader, we are notified of this. It is a risk that you're following a level 1 trader, and we do want to make all clients aware that they are slightly risky, so you will have to just confirm that you agree to add this street trader. Once on here, you can see the performance of the portfolio as well as each individual trader's performance in the chart below here. So you can see we're looking at 1 year performance, and the orange graph is Mr. DAX's performance. The purple graph, or the purple chart line, is King King's performance, while the orange graph, the blue graph will be the portfolio overall. So had you been following these two traders for the last year, currently the portfolio would be up all of 38%. So very good profits, and you can see here, whilst Mr. DAX has slightly dipped, King King's taken over and he's performed fairly well over that last month there and dragged the portfolio upwards, which is great to see the two working well together. Another option that you have when you're on this page is your effective risk factor. So this is how much you are going to be following the trader proportionately. Now, because we have two traders here, what that means is our assets are going, or your assets and capital are going to be split between the two. So to make an example, let's say the account has £1,000 in it. Each trader would be allocated £500 to trade with. So if you're following each trader on the current levels, which we'll have a look at, which is automatically set to 1 times, you'll see the effective risk factor is 0.5. So what that means is that if Mr. DAX makes 1% profit, you'll be making 1% profit on £500 or 500 euros. Now, in essence, that's a 0.5% profit on the overall portfolio or your overall capital. So 0.5% profit over £1,000. What you can do is, if you like a trader, you can increase that risk or increase your effective risk factor by dragging that up to 2 times. Because we have two traders in the portfolio, by setting it to 2 times, you'll then be going 1 for 1 on that trader on your overall capital. So on £1,000, you're now making 1% for every 1% Mr. DAX makes. This instrument here allows you to set it to a maximum of 10 times, and obviously you will have to divide that by the number of traders you have in your portfolio to get the effective risk factor on the overall capital. A further option that you have here when you're editing the settings is you can set the individual amounts. So let's have a look at Mr. DAX. It's going to show every single product that Mr. DAX currently trades. And for example, let's say you do not want to have any exposure to Brent crude because you feel the product's too volatile and you don't want to be trading it at all, or you notice perhaps a top trader is very good, but every time he enters a specific product, he doesn't do so well on it. What you can do is you can set the effective risk factor of that all the way down to 0, as shown. Sorry for that. And what that means is that you will no longer enter any Brent crude trades that Mr. DAX does. And that can be done for every trader. So you'd set each individual amount to set the portfolio just as you like, and then you'd confirm the settings and everything would be saved for you. Once that's done, you can click on Execute Portfolio. Unfortunately, I have a portfolio currently running. It will ask you to title your portfolio, which is just done by clicking on it here, and you can put in a title, for example, Test 1. Once that's done, you can execute the portfolio on your live account, and that will require funding, obviously, but it will then start to run for you and all trades will be done automatically. When these trades are put through, you can go to My Portfolio and go to My Live Account. What it will then show is all trades that you have running, and you can also edit these trades. So that means you can close these trades on the account there. You do also have access to a demo trial that will last for 3 weeks. So if you want to test out the account, you can always do so by executing on your demo account. However, that will close after 3 weeks and you'll no longer be able to get access to that. So just going on from as if it was a live account, because it will take us across to our next platform, which is also essential for the social account, is funding your account. So if you wanted to fund your account, you'll see at the top here, there's a blue button, and that will bring you across to our Trade Hub platform. It will just bring up a note and acknowledge you that you are going to move across. So you just click on confirm here, and it would bring you across to this platform. So I'm going to have to log into mine here just by putting in the username and password. We log into the account. And what we'll do is we're just going to get access to the social account. I have both a self-directed spread betting account and a social account. We'll just look at the social account for today. So going over to the social account, you'll see normally the portfolio will come up as this without any charts, and you'll have full access to everything here. So in the top left hand corner, this is where you would do all of your adjustments. So if you were looking to fund the account, what you would do is you would click on the sterling icon, and you have two different options to fund the account. You have deposits card and deposits bank wire. Now if you're depositing by card, all you'd have to do is fill in your details here. We do advise to use a debit card because credit cards can be charged. However, otherwise you do have the option to do a bank wire, and you're provided with all our bank details just here. So you have options to deposit both in NatWest if you're in the UK and Commerce Bank if you live in Europe. That is generally the quickest bank living in Europe. And you just put in all the account details here. Now what this account also gives you access to is it allows you to place trades yourself, and it also allows you to monitor the trades that you currently have running. So if you had a trade running at the moment, you could go into your open positions and orders. It would show every trade you have running. Unfortunately, I do not have a trade running at the moment, and you can adjust them here. And likewise, if you wanted to enter a trade, all you'd have to do is go to the product search and go to, for example, indices. We just take the Germany 30 as an example. Go to Germany, you go to the Germany 30, and from here you could place a trade by clicking the buy or sell button, which are both shown here. You just fill in the deal ticket and that trade would be executed for you. Now because you're putting this trade in yourself, or when you're amending a trade yourself, for example a trade that Mr. Dax or King King has put through, if you amend it in any way, that trade then becomes your own. So if the top trader closes out that trade and you've changed the stop loss, it will continue to run on your portfolio until you close it out yourself, or a stop loss or take profit is hit. So that's very key to remember. If you change any trades, they are yourself, and they are then your own responsibility. So do be wary of this. Once the account's funded and you're happy with everything, you would just go back here, run the portfolio, and then from here you could go to My Live account and view everything as it's running. I'm just going to go to My Live account here. You can see some trades are running on this demo account, and you can see which trades are running from which traders. It's all shown on the left hand side here which trader it is and what the positions are. As I said before, you can also close the trades out on the platform here. Let's say you're running a nice profit and you want to get out of that position, you just click on this red close button here. That would close out the trade for you, and you would no longer have the risk of that trade running. So that's really how the social platform works. And I know some of you may be interested in becoming a top trader. That is slightly different. So I am just going to walk through that, and we're going to talk about the levels and how you can progress as a top trader as well, as these are important factors to bear in mind. So if we log out here and go back to the home page, unfortunately from this page you can't click on this profile here to become a top trader, as it will just take you to a follower account. So what we would do is we just click on open account in the top right hand corner, and you would select to do social trading and click on top trader account. You'd fill out all of the details as you would have done before, and this will then open up a top trader account for you. Now let's say we log in again to social trading, you'd have access both to this platform as well as the Trade Hub platform that we saw before. So the Trade Hub platform would be where you would put in all of your trades, and this platform here is where you may see the requirements to progress and how you are progressing as well. So for example, we will go to this is how it works. Starting a trading career, these are the criteria that you're going to have to meet to progress from level 1 to level 5. So everyone will start as a street trader, and to progress to an advanced trader, you do need to trade with us for 30 days, and you can't have a drawdown greater than 25%. That's the same for every single level, and your performance must be at least greater than 0.5% within that 1 month. So once you've met these requirements, even if it takes 2 months for you to do so, you'd then advance to the advanced trader level, again where you'd be set new targets and you have to meet these to progress. So rather than having to meet 0.5% per period, you'd now have to require to meet 1% within 2 months. So that's the requirement to progress from there, and you'll see at the institutional level your yearly performance is 6%, as said before. Your drawdown can't be larger than 25%, and you must have been trading with us for at least a year. Now, as a top trader, you are remunerated, and as a level 5 or institutional trader, you are remunerated $5 for every lot that is generated. And as a street trader, you are remunerated $1 for every lot. So obviously advancing through those levels is extremely important, as well as generating the following. Now, when you're on here, you can go to I'm a top trader and go to my trading career. This will just plot out a image of how you're progressing so far. So this little demo account here doesn't have any career at the moment. Unfortunately, it has been disabled, but you would be provided with full information of how your performance is as of today, as well as how many days are left until your next criteria are going to be judged. So as long as your criteria meet what's required, then you will progress to the next level automatically. Likewise, from here, you can go to your profile, and this is where you can edit your profile by entering, for example, your trading strategy, as well as entering a profile picture and making the profile a little bit more personal for yourself. The same with this. You would have to fund your account by clicking on the blue Fund Your Account button, which would take you across to Trade Hub, which is where you would enter all of your trades. So again, you would have your product search window to enter any trades you want. And further to this, you have your watch list here as well. For a top trader, this is probably one of the key elements. On this watch list, you can create your own watch list by clicking in the top right-hand corner, that little gear icon. You just go on Create New Watch List, title it, let's say, for example, Forex, if you're looking to analyze just Forex products on this. And from here, you can add products. So we go Add Products, which will bring us across to the product search. We go Foreign Exchange, Spots, and Majors. And just for an example, we'll add the Euro Dollar by clicking on the Add to Watch List button. And it's just confirming that's been done. And on the left-hand side here, we can see it's been added. This allows us just to trade from it or view a chart. So it's a much quicker way of navigating around the platform, and just makes being a top trader a little bit easier than having to search every time you want to enter a trade. So that is all the steps on becoming both a follower and a top trader. And a few other things that you can do as a follower in terms of finding top traders, which we did just skip over, is your advanced search features. So you can see here that there is this detailed search tab. If you do click on it, it will drop down and you can sort of criteria or set the criteria that you want. So you can say that you don't want to have volatility of greater than, let's say, 10%. You don't want to draw down greater than 20%, so they will have progressed through some levels, and you can even remove some of the career levels. Let's say we don't want to look at any level 1 traders because they are too risky for us. We can click on Show, and you'll see just down below here that will bring back all of the top traders that meet our criteria, and from there you can go in and analyze them further. Now, what you may have noticed is that on the left-hand side here on these photos, some of these traders have little symbols next to them. For example, Mr. Dax has a star and an R symbol. That is because he's our most popular trader which would give you a star if you were in the top 10, and the R refers to him being a real money trader. This means that the trader's got over £1,000 in their account. So this is important both for followers and real money traders. In order to classify as a real money trader, you do require more than £1,000 in your account. And the other traders here, which don't have an R, for example, Macasto, he is a virtual money trader, which means that he may be trading on a demo account currently, or his account balance is less than £1,000. If a top trader deposits 500, they won't get the classification. It does give them access to the full platform though, and they can trade with us, but we do want to make that known to our traders that they don't have as much capital at risk. We know here Mr. Dax and Simply Trader do have a fair amount of their capital at risk, and that is shown by giving them the real money trader status. So those are the key features of this this product here, obviously. So it's very simple, as you can see, to navigate around, and very simple to open an account. Now, if there are any questions, then please go ahead and ask them. I'd be more than happy to go through any of these questions with you. I'm just going to have a look if there is any. So we do currently have one. Okay, bear with me 1 second. So the first question we have is what is meant by drawdown. So we'll go over this at the moment. What drawdown means is the difference between the peak of a performance and the lowest point after that. So what we'll do is we'll go into Mr. Dax's portfolio and have a look at his drawdown. Just searching him by name. We get Mr. Dax here. We can pull up his profile, and you can see here that his drawdown is 16.3%. So this means the biggest change from one of his peaks to the lows is 16.33%. So this is probably the change from here, the 9th of April, where he's up 69.21%, down to here in 4th of July, where he's down 45.62%. That is what is meant by drawdown. So the drawdown is always the difference between the highest peak and the lowest trough. So from now on, it will be judged off of any drop of performance from his highest peak here, which looks to be about 92.53%. So if his drawdown gets lower than 16.33% from this level, then that will obviously change his drawdown. It will no longer be judged from the 69.21% here. That's what it means. I mean, if you do have any queries as to what any of it means, you can always click on the information here, or click on the title, click on the more icon, and from here you're provided with full details. So the maximum drawdown here is the trader's largest cumulative loss measured in percentage since beginning. So it is measured from their inception, so if they initially suffer a loss, that will go straight in as a drawdown. But it is measured from the highest peak to the lowest low. Likewise, if you have any queries about volatility, you can see the full mathematical calculations here, as well as all of the information. So it is very conclusive there. All you do need to do is just click on the information and it will all be shown for you. Does anyone else have any other questions at all about the platform, perhaps about any requirements as a top trader or as a social follower, how to build a portfolio or diversify it anymore? Okay, at the moment it doesn't look like any questions are coming through, but I'll just give you a moment to type any in if you do have any. Okay, one more question's just come through. So can we also trade on the US market versus the DAX? Yes, you can. For example, if you are following a top trader who's trading the DAX, you can place your own trades on the US market. Likewise, you can find a top trader who is trading the US market and you can choose to follow them as well. And also, if you are a top trader, you can trade US markets. So for example, in TradeHub, just jumped across here, as you can see. You can search all US markets, so we have access to several markets. Let's say you wanted to trade one of the indices in the US market, such as the Dow Jones or the Wall Street on our platform. You could just click on indices, go to the United States, and you see you have full range of products right here. Likewise for any equities or stocks, single stocks here, you have full access to the United States among many other countries which are all listed here. And you can trade any of these products on the social platform. As a top trader, those would be followed by your followers, and as a follower, if you traded any of these products, they would be exclusive to your portfolio, and obviously you would have to monitor them yourselves. When you're in one of these trades, you will have to obviously set your stop losses and take profits yourself. That's easy to do. Let's say, for example, you're going to do it on Alibaba. We'll just open Alibaba here, open the deal ticket, and you'll see over here you can enter the stake size. Let's say £1 per point. This is a spread bet account, and you can see here you can set the stop loss and take profit by the price, or alternatively what you can do, which is a little bit easier, in the top right here, you can change the stop loss method from price to units, and that will be how many units away you want the stop loss to be. So currently it's setting it to 86 points away, and that would mean a loss of £86 because we're trading at £1 a point. 86 points would be £86. Now let's say you wanted to risk a total of 1% of the portfolio and your account was £1,000, you would set it to 10. Unfortunately, we can't do that because the minimum distance required is 43 points as shown here. So we'll put the minimum of 43. That's risking a total of £43. And that would be all that you can do. Likewise here on the take profit, you can set it. You can see here that there is no minimum, but let's say we want to take double that, we would set it to 86, or even triple that, we would set it to 129, and therefore it would take profit at 129 points away. And you can see on the right here, the estimated profit is £129. So it's very simple to set both the stop loss and take profits on these products. And obviously you do have full access to both the US and German markets. Okay, let's just go back to social trading here. Does anyone else have any questions at all? How about options? Okay. Bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to expand this slightly. Unfortunately, we do not offer options. One of you have asked whether you can trade options on the platform. All that is featured is so current products, so equities and equities, indices, forex, commodities, interest rates, EFTs and ETCs. But what we do offer as well are futures products. So that would be, for example, on something like gold, you can trade a futures product here. You can see here Brent crude oil December 15. The benefit of doing that is you would not have any overnight financing rate. The spread will be slightly wider than you would on a normal product, on a spot product. For example, gold spot, you would have overnight financing on that and the spread will be slightly tighter. But on the futures product, you do overlook that. So you wouldn't be charged overnight financing on a daily rate. But unfortunately, no options are available, no. Covered calls. The person who put covered calls, do you mind just expanding on that question there? If you're referring to call options, obviously that's not available. Call and put options are both not available on the platform. It would just be spot and future trades. In terms of covering call time, if that's what does not matter. Okay, you obviously got the answer to your question there, but if it is call time in terms of support that you can get when you are with ayondo, there's 24-hour support here, so the trading desk is always open. If you ever have any issues, you can always call in, which is fantastic. Someone will always be able to deal with you here. And in terms of support time, where you can talk to support staff, the UK desk are always in until 6 p.m. and they're in from 7 a.m. in the morning as well. So you'll always have pretty much 24-hour support for any questions you have, especially if you're having any issues with the platform. The trading desk are certainly happy to help you and both open and close any positions you may have open. Anyone else have any other questions? I'll just give you all a minute to respond to that. Okay, well, there's no other questions coming through at the moment, so I think that will be it for today's webinar. I want to thank you all for attending, and I hope it was all made fairly simple for you and you understand everything. Obviously, if you do have any other questions or you'd like to speak to someone further about opening an account or analyzing any of the top traders, we are all available here for you to discuss these matters. So please feel free to call in on the support line, and it would be our pleasure to all help you out. Well, thank you all for attending, and have a good evening.